Hello and welcome to my channel. We are on our 2020 journey through Sarah Ban Beathnach's book, Simple Abundance, and we're almost at the end of the year. This is not the last video for the topic, but I did want to come to you today on December 30th and give you a little bit of extra time to prepare if you felt inspired by any of these ideas. So at the beginning of this year, when I was first reading you the January Joyful Simplicities from her book, I did mention one of the things that I said I was going to revisit at the end of the year so that I could show you some things that we've done. Because she doesn't mention it until January, but really it's more of a New Year's Eve, New Year's Day sort of thing. So this is what Sarah says in her Joyful Simplicity about the topic of preparing a New Year's meal. And I'm going to talk about more than just that in this video, but the first thing I wanted to share is the meal. So she tells us, serve a traditional New Year's Day dinner of hop and jack. That's black-eyed peas. Those are said to be for luck, rice for health, collard greens for prosperity, baked ham and cornbread, and she says for delicious eating. But I'm actually going to go over a little bit about some foods from around the world for New Year's. And Sarah says, I make a scrumptious winter salad of cooked black-eyed peas, diced green and red peppers, and red onion dressed in a French vinaigrette, which is served at room temperature. So when I was preparing to go through the book in 2018 with my group of ladies that I've referenced a few times on the channel as my Simple Abundance ladies, we prepared ahead of time what we wanted to do for our meal items. And a few of us had some dietary restrictions, or we were eating vegan or vegetarian at the time. And so we altered the plan a little bit. But I also want to say some things more about related to what Sarah just said about some of the foods. And I promise you're not going to be looking at this screen the entire time on the video either. I just want to get through the foods here. So she mentions the black-eyed peas. That's something from the South, and it's supposed to invite good fortune, and it shows humility. Lentils also, that's an Italian thing. They are served usually on New Year's Day, and they are also about abundance, and then the seeds inside them symbolize wealth. Any kind of circular foods are said to be good, so something that's shaped like a ring is supposed to bring good luck and symbolize the coming full circle sort of idea. And then there's a Japanese sort of noodle called soba, and so noodles are said to be good. It's one of their most beloved foods in Japan, and they are eaten at midnight on December 31st because it's supposed to symbolize longevity. So the longer the noodles are, the better, they're saying. And they also symbolize wishes for good luck in the year ahead. Sarah mentioned collard greens. So greens are symbolizing good luck because of, or prosperity because it's green, like money, right? And then she mentioned having a ham or pork. And pork is actually something really big around the world that people do eat on New Year's Day. And in fact, there's lucky pigs. And I think, actually I don't have it cited here, but my memory is that it's not only in England, but I think it's also like a German sort of thing, where they have candy pigs and they crack them open. So it's interesting. So pigs, they say that they have like a root forward sort of appearance in their nose, and it's supposed to symbolize progress. And then, oh yeah, so it's those candy pigs are called, oh boy, I'm not going to try to say it in German, but they're good luck bringers, but there's a German word here that I don't think I'd probably say correctly. And it's like in the English-speaking countries, they're known as a lucky charm. So they have pig ornaments, and then I told you about how they have the candy is marzipan, and that's what the pig is made out of. And they're given out, and they're supposed to be good luck and like I'm told they usually crack them open. I'm not sure what exactly is inside, but oh, it says they're given as prizes. Pomegranate in Greece is smashed on the floor in front of a door, and it's supposed to break open and reveal seeds. And the number of seeds is supposed to be like meaning that you have more good luck the more numbers you have. Also in Spain, they eat 12 grapes at midnight, and that's supposed to symbolize the 12 months of the year and potentially 12 wishes that you might have. And then I'll show this on the pictures that I have, but remember I mentioned the charm cake that I made? That's a Greek tradition. And then also fish is an option as well if you're not a pork eater, because fish are supposed to be lucky because they really only swim forward, right? So, and they're just supposed to be a sign of abundance because they typically swim in schools, you know, of many fish together. So those are some things about the food. So I wanted to show you what we did. It was the beginning of 2018. So we had the greens for prosperity. And then we came up with our own things. We had, because we were making like a big salad here. So we came up with things like there's, looks like peppers, there's some corn, there's some onions, yellow peppers, different kind of peppers. So we called that meaningful experiences. So colorful vibrancy of life is what it says on the sign I made. And then this was really fun. My friend had a vase which was perfectly set for this one too. So as you were making your little meal, you could grab out of this little magical looking sort of dish and put in your own little secret ingredients of what you might have wanted for your new year. We had the rice for health that Sarah mentioned. And then we had the black-eyed peas for luck. And instead of the pork, because we were not eating meat, any of us really, we did cranberries, and that was for fun. And then here's my little charm cake. I told you that I didn't bake the charms into the cake. They actually were in the center, and I had flowers in there. And this was like a strawberry shortcake that I did. So we had strawberries and stuff. So we each pulled out a charm for the year, and that was super fun. That was super fun. I still have mine hanging from my rear view mirror in the car. And then remember I told you my fun little story of Annabelle stealing her anchor charm? That was her. When I came home and I found it under the couch, we were playing with it. It was a sweet moment for us. This is another year that I was doing on my own really, but I did the 12 grapes. And the pomegranate, I got pomegranate and then I whipped it up in my NutriBullet to make like a pomegranate drink. This was going into 2019, which was the year of the pig. And so again, we were not eating meat at the time, and so I gave my friends all little piggies like that, and we named them. And we actually took the pigs, at least one of the pigs came with us on various adventures throughout the following year. It was pretty fun. And I did look up that 2021 is going to be the year of the ox. So when I'm saying it's the year of the pig or the year of the ox, I'm talking about the Chinese New Year, which is in February. They always have a particular year, like an animal or a zodiac sign that connects to what year it is. So I looked up the year of the ox, and white, yellow, and green are the good luck colors, and that'll be February 12th that the Chinese New Year starts. So I also had greens here. I had the black-eyed peas. I had a soup that I made in there with, I did put lentils and some of the other things that Sarah mentioned. And then I didn't have the Japanese noodles, but I did I think those were like gluten-free noodles that I did that year. So that was fun. And I did that one on my own. And I like the 12 grape idea. And see, I just put them through like a a little spike, you know. So then, what are some things that you can do to close out the current year and welcome in the new year? So I typically myself, I do a lot of journaling, and I think you know that if you follow my channel, because I talk about it a lot. But I just wanted to share a couple of things that you could reflect on New Year's Eve or New Year's Day. Like New Year's Day for me is usually a day of reflection and getting things started on a fresh start, like getting my journal together. And another plug for that journal video, it's the second video on my channel from last year in January. And I talk about all the questions I ask myself and the lists I make and just sort of setting up the year on a good foot. So here's some things that I have written down. You can note all of your achievements that you've had this year, all the good things that happened, maybe new friends, people that you connected with, maybe you know, someone in your family had a baby, maybe you had a baby, maybe you started a business, got a new job, got a new car, just felt like you were living a fulfilling life. Be as detailed as possible. And then list all the things that you're grateful for. And that's what we've been doing all year in a small way, but this one is just a huge list of all the things that you're grateful for as you close out the year. And even if you're having trouble coming up with those things, remember it can be things like that you have a safe place to live, that hopefully you have a job, that you have a family around you, or various things like that. Then you also can take some time to note the disappointments that you may have had for the year. Like all the things that you sort of wish didn't happen, what caused you stress and unhappiness. Did you make choices that you wish you would have made differently? Did you associate with less than desirable people that limited your ability to achieve? So make this list as long as you want. Just get it all out. And then at the top of your list, write in bold letters, things I'm resolved to never experience again. And then remember I told you guys in another video that my Simple Abundance ladies and I, we did this and we burned the things in the fireplace. So doing something like that symbolically can be really neat. And then next, if we're welcoming in the new year, of course you want to know what you want. Knowing why you want it is really important and powerful. Really getting clear on those things. And what you want to have clarity on, what you might want to work out or do better in the coming year. So it's really like a time to decide those things. And then I also shared in that video about my journal that I have a page that it's like the welcome signs for my life. So what am I going to welcome in? So you might be thinking of that about the new year. And then every time you feel unmotivated in the coming year, you can always look back and hopefully you're making tiny little steps towards your goals all year. I don't know if you've ever heard of MAP before. It's like making a master plan. So kind of breaking down some of those things, like say you want to lose weight and breaking that down into small little things, like some of the things that you're going to do, some of the people that are going to support you, some of the like the milestone goals that you can do, and little rewards along the way. And so kind of mapping out these things so that you have an actual plan. And also from the journal video, you may remember that I said the sky's the limit on these lists and things that you're making for yourself. It's not like, oh, I'm not going to write that down because I'll never do it, or someday I'll do this. It's really having a time to be with yourself and listen, and maybe you write down something that you have not wanted to admit, or that you're maybe you're not even sure how you're going to get it, but it's like at least getting it down. And then if part of your master plan is that you're going to enlist some help, like a life coach or a therapist or friends, family, reading a book, taking webinars, whatever it is, to try to achieve that. It's going to bring life to your life for the feeling of moving towards something. Okay? So, what are some things that you could do on New Year's Day? If you're, we've already mentioned the journaling things, but some other ideas are you could take a cleansing salt bath and sort of wash away the year before. This could be New Year's Eve also, too. Maybe you want to do that before the new year comes. Smudging is a great idea. We talked about that in another video as well. You can take sage, you can do incense, burning candles, just sort of like clearing out the space energetically. And we talked about feng shui, remember, with the qi. So cleaning, decluttering, sweeping, getting the energy moving in that way is really good. You could burn things that like not only just the papers, but you could burn, hopefully it's nothing toxic that, and check your local fire laws. But if there's things you want to let go of and you just like, I can't, maybe you have a yard and you can bury it if it's not garbage or, like I said, toxic or anything, but you can just, I would burn it over burying it, because I think psychologically I would just always know that it was out there buried, And then I thought this was a really neat idea, something I saw once online, about how the first 12 days of a new year are said to symbolize the 12 months of the year. I hadn't really thought about that before. And so what about, like we talked about Kwanzaa recently, about lighting a candle each night for certain qualities? What if you came up with 12 things in your life that you wanted to bring in, and you each day honored that in some way? Or maybe you just burned 12 candles for those first 12 days. Or maybe you're just totally mindful of those first 12 days and setting the year off on a good start by keeping in mind the things that you're hoping that will come, and the changes that you're hoping you will make, and so on. If you have any sort of oracle cards, you may do a card spread to sort of see where you are energetically. I like to do that in my journal and sort of see. If you're into podcasts, maybe you tune into some fun things about predictions about the new year. And I always try to make sure those things are positive, though, because I don't want to know negative things. I know they were predicting 2020 was going to be bad, and I just didn't want to believe it, and then it was pretty bad. And then Sarah also had mentioned in the book that she was always trying to encourage us to grow things inside. So in January, she had said, why not get some bulbs started inside for some spring bulbs, and then you can watch them grow. And then something else I just looked up some fun things from around the world about little like good luck traditions to get the year started off well. I mentioned the eating of the 12 grapes. In Denmark, they actually jump off of something at midnight on New Year's Eve. So it could be like a chair, And so it's like they're just jumping into the new year. That sounded fun. And I forget if this was in Greece or Italy. I didn't write it down, but I think it was Italy, where they smash plates, and it's supposed to predict, the more pieces that your plate smashes into, the better your year is going to be, like in terms of luck. And in Brazil, they recommend wearing white. It's supposed to bring good luck and peace. I found that in multiple countries, actually. And also in Brazil, if you go out, or if you live somewhere near the ocean, in Brazil, what they do is they go out and they try to jump 7 waves, and they do a wish for each wave. And 7's a pretty spiritual number, so I can see why they chose 7. This was fun, and who knew that there was so much superstition about underwear? But listen to this. So it's said that if you wear red underwear on New Year's Eve, it's supposed to invite passion into your life for the coming year. That's in Latin America. And then also, if you wear yellow, then that's supposed to bring in money and happiness. And along the same lines of the underwear, this one made me laugh. In some places, they will wear their underwear inside out until New Year's Eve, like until midnight, and then they turn them right side out after New Year's, like after midnight, and then it's supposed to just mean that they're going to be bringing like new clothes and fashion into their lives. So maybe that one speaks to you. I don't know. This was neat too, and this is again like another Scandinavian sort of one, but it's to throw water out the window somehow. You could do it in a glass, a bucket. It's supposed to symbolize the tears of the year before and just sort of like throwing them out. Sometimes they throw them like into the street, just be obviously respectful about how you do that. But I thought that was a neat one. And then I mentioned starting the year off on the right foot earlier, and there's actually a tradition of only standing on your right foot until midnight is all the strikes of midnight have gone through, so that you are literally starting the year out on your right foot, flat on the floor. So if you see somebody starting to do like what looks like a yoga pose or something, or being a flamingo at midnight, then that's what it is. Of course, kissing someone is said to be good luck as well. And the charm cake that I mentioned, there's also things like they might sometimes cook coins into biscuits and other things as well. So you could take any of these ideas and make them your own. I hope no matter what is happening for you in your life that you can take some time for yourself to really close out 2020 and welcome in 2021. And maybe it's also working on your word and coming up with ways that you can incorporate that into your life. I had some other ideas besides the spray. I was thinking about making a song list. Like, I'm sure there's plenty of songs that I could find with my word shine, or like shiny, shining, or even just words that make me, or songs I mean, that make me feel like I'm empowered so that I can shine. So I'm thinking about a lot of things, and I will continue to share them with you on the channel. I hope that you got some fun ideas out of this video, and I will see you soon before the end of the year. But Happy New Year early if you're watching this, or late if you're watching it later. But I hope no matter what, you're marking this turning of the wheel in a meaningful way. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.